Hello guys, welcome back. I was doing really great with Dionysus. I really was. We were doing great and we were having fun and I jumped the fence and I was running free and I knew exactly what I needed to do with the rest of my life. Not exactly everything else, but I knew like the highlights of I need to have absolute freedom. I need to be able to come and go, and I need to spend my time with the gods that are calling to me at that present moment. If I'm not, I get scared and everything starts to make me freak out. And I mean everything, like I'll notice the shadows in the room and be freaking out over the shadows in the room because is that a shadow or is that something wrong or what is going on? So I have to spend time with the God I know is right for me at the time. And for people that aren't like that, they're like, what do you mean? You have this one set of gods, you're only allowed one set of gods, and you have to be with them. Well, Odin was actually testing me to see if I would go with my intuition and be with the god I know I need to be with at that present moment in time. And do what I need to do to take care of myself, or would I just do something because everyone around me was assuring me that was the thing to do? No, since it was the gods doing it, I was completely safe. It was the gods going, oh, you're going to enjoy this, you're eventually going to be happy stuck in one place, you're going to be so much happier without all these other gods. You're going to be so happy, so happy. Well, you would think I'd be running around and frolicking with Norse gods, and for a little bit, that's what I did. I made the best of, forgive me for saying this, a bad situation. Because I was trapped in one place, so I might as well try to get to know all the Norse gods. And that worked for a while. But I wasn't coming from a place of I feel called to work from you. I was coming from a place of I've been scruffed and made to work with you. And it wasn't going very far with any of the gods. It was like meet and greet, and then both of us just kind of be there like none of the gods were unfriendly. They were all very friendly and warm and loving, but it wasn't working because I was being made to do it. Odin was like, okay, I'm gonna make you do this until you see that you're not happy doing it, and then see if you are going to go off and do what you need to do. And the gods weren't saying anything because they were all in on it. And the moment I jumped that fence and I was off and I was cavorting with Dionysus and I was so happy and I had perfect trust and perfect faith and utter joy and ecstasy, I was happy. It was where I needed to be. But then I made the YouTube video and I thought about it and I thought, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to lose viewers because I'm not talking about Norse gods. I'm going to lose viewers because they're going to think I'm undisciplined. I'm going to lose viewers because they don't think I'm serious about my faith, or, you know, all these nightmare scenarios started in my head. A lot of them. All at once. Because Fox people are overachievers when it comes to worrying. And I had to actually force myself to go find the Fox video. Don't know if I mentioned it this recording or not. And to listen to it and to calm down. Logic is actually the enemy of fox people. People with a fox totem or affinity for foxes or foxy personality, whatever you want to call it. Because logically, I should have been happy as a clam. I had all the Norse gods you could ever want. I was miserable. The energy in the house felt great. It felt very warm and loving and enveloping, but I was miserable. And why was I miserable? Because I wanted to see my whole god family, not just this part, not just the Norse part. I wanted to go see the Greek gods I love, and I wanted to go see the gods from other countries that I love, and I wanted to go visit all these other gods. And the gods kept sending me signs that, okay, you're miserable, come on, come back out, it's okay, the test is over, and I didn't trust it. I didn't trust my intuition. I thought they were calling me, but everybody says, no, you have to find your pantheon and settle down. That's never going to be me. I'm never going to find one pantheon and settle down. Now, it can be exhausting not doing that, because it means I'll always be traveling. But I can sit down and rest for a while in certain places and rest with certain gods. It's not some divine punishment that I'll never find one total complete pantheon. It's not in my nature. And when I'm spending time with the gods in the right way, all this spooky stuff can be going on around me, like there's a windstorm going on right now. And I'm paying attention to it, but I'm not freaking out. Before I was freaking out, and Vales took pity on me, and Vales came, and he's like, come here, come here. And I'm like, but you don't understand, windstorm, I'm scared. And he's like, I know, but come here. And he worked me through it. And, I notice it's a thing that we get as adults. I'm going somewhere with this, I swear. As children, we usually have faith in whatever god or gods we've been told to have faith in because we have a childlike faith. But as adults, as we take on more and more responsibility, as we get older, as we start being the ones to pay the bills and everything else, we start freaking out because there's not that adult or older figure supporting us in most cases. I mean, unless you're like, you have a trust fund or something, there's not anyone supporting you. And we can say we trust in our gods to protect us, and trust in our ancestors, and trust in all this other stuff, or trust in the universe, or whatever else. But sometimes it's hard. It's harder because we don't have that thing we had in childhood where, in a lot of ways, we were frustrated because we wanted to go do our own thing. But in a lot of ways, our lives were regulated, and a lot of the decisions were made for us. Probably none of us wanted to wear clothes at one point. Every child goes through that phase, but we were conditioned to wear clothes. And we probably didn't want to go to school, and we were conditioned to go to school, and God knows if we hadn't been potty trained, humans would go everywhere. But we had to have all that conditioning, and a lot of it's good, or we wouldn't have a society. But it can also be bad because if you're a person that goes on intuition, and intuition gets you where you need to go, you'll know it works for you because you'll be relaxed. And when you start to try to apply logic to a situation, you'll start to freak out. Because for intuitive people, most of the time your life is not going to make any logical sense. Everybody around you is going to be saying, no, you shouldn't be doing that. You're not allowed to do that. I don't like you doing that because you have to do this because this is the logical thing to do. And just to shut people up, or to try to belong, or something else, you go off and you try to do the logical thing. It doesn't work. And for me, I talked to Loki and I'm like, do you care if I end up going off with Dionysus for a while? Because, after I started to worry, Dionysus didn't pull back, but I was freaking out and I couldn't hear any god. And Loki's like, no, I don't care. He's like, you could go off for years and visit with other gods. If that's what you really need to do, you can go off, and it's not like he can't follow me and we can't go explore and adventure together. But he's like, I knew you would be miserable. And it's not that Odin didn't know I would be miserable. Odin was like, well, if we keep forcing her to do what she shouldn't do in a safe environment, in my home with the gods, not let's go out and walk on top of the Empire State Building or something, I would learn, one, I could trust the gods, and two, they will accept us and love us for how we are, naturally. As I was reading about Odin, and I'm reading up, unfortunately or fortunately, depending how you look at it, most of the stuff on him is going to be heathen. And I was wondering now, and thankfully I did not throw the books away, did I not like the books because they were more Wiccan in nature? Which I should like, I'm a Wiccan. Or did I not like them because of that, because of what some article said, or did I really not like them? So I have to go back and look at these books and think about this. I think a lot of it's I just don't like being told what to do. That's typical for me. But as I was reading these articles, all these stuff that these people didn't approve of because they're heathen, and apparently heathens aren't allowed to approve of certain things, they would mention. And for people, some people, it would have just rolled off their back, but it bothered the heck out of me. Like, the one person didn't like people having spirit guides. And they said the same thing everybody that hates people having spirit guides or animal totems or whatever says. Well, that's all wrong. That's all a lie made up by people, and you can't have them, and that's not how it works. How do you know? do you secretly have them and it works a totally different way? It sounds like trolling, but they're doing it because they don't like you having it for whatever reason. Maybe they think it's disrespectful. Maybe they think you shouldn't have it because they don't have it, or you shouldn't have it work that way because it doesn't work that way for them. But it wasn't even related to the article. It was, I guess in an offhanded way, it was related to the article, but it was more of a, I have this bee in my bonnet about animal totems, so I have to step aside from the actual article and take a jab at people with animal totems so I can feel better about myself. And it was also a jab at Wiccans too, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Heathens don't like Wiccans. You say you're accepting and we're welcome, but we can leave all that Wiccan stuff outside because you really don't like it. So what you really mean, and what they really mean, and I'll just figure this out now, is we're not welcome as Wiccans, we're welcome as potential heathens. As long as we'll give up everything we believe and everything that makes us happy, you'll accept us. It's so very welcoming of you. And I kept finding that repeatedly of places that they would say, oh, we welcome, like, we're part of this heathen thing of, and I'm not trying to pick on heathens, I'm sure a lot of them just go about their own business, that they were welcoming and everything, but then they would find something they hated about this group that they claimed to welcome, and I'm like, then what you're welcoming is potential heathens that give up everything that identifies them as fill in the blank. Like, it's like saying you welcome having gay neighbors as long as they don't do gay things. Whatever you think gay things are, or you would welcome fill in the blank to move in next door to you as long as they don't do fill in the blank things. You're not really welcoming them, you're welcoming them as potential copies of yourself, which, if you were honest and said, well, I don't want you here because you make me uncomfortable, that might be unhappy and hurt, but at least they would know what you actually want. So I just figured I would give you guys some food for thought, because once I calmed down and I stopped having a freak out, I was like, well, I can either stop freaking out, because we have extreme weather now all the time. I was like, either I can give up coffee, which isn't gonna work, or I can stop freaking out every time the wind blows really hard or there's hail or something, because we have a lot more of that now. We have rain almost constantly now, and we don't have snow in the winter now. We have rain, and I might be miserable and I might want a couple days where it's dry, but I'm not going to get that. So I was like, I have to learn to not let everything, one, make me nervous, even though it's hard for a fox person, and two, I have to learn to follow my intuition. If it's not working for me to do it a certain way, I have to intuitively find the way to do it. And I think that's timely for somebody out there that maybe you're trying to do it the way you see me do it. And please don't. I just give general advice. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. And maybe you're trying to do it the way some article told you to do it and it's not working. Don't worry about doing it the way it worked for another person. I don't know. I'm no authority on what happens when we die, but I'm pretty sure the gods aren't standing there with a chart saying, well, you weren't 100% this or 100% that, so, yep, you got nowhere to go and you're just going to be stuck in that corner. Go stand in the corner, think about what you did for all eternity. I'm fairly sure they're not going to do that. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.